Okay. I am Lynn Sutton from Wake Forest University, and I have many opinions about MOOCs in general, which maybe we'll get into at the end. The primary one being that I think MOOCs are a reflection of a societal imperative to bring high-quality education at a low cost to global citizens. I think that's what's really driving all of this. But my story here today is much different, and it's really the story of a library that didn't want to be left out of the MOOC movement when its own institution was not participating, and so we just decided to do our own. Maybe it would help if I explained a little bit about my institution. Wake Forest is a small private research university in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Meg is a proud alum of Wake Forest, and she can tell you that it's a place where there are small classes, where you get to know your faculty members on a first-name basis, where you go to their house, where you have a close personal relationship. That is what Wake Forest stands for. So it prides itself on this up-close and personal kind of relationship, which is the exact opposite of what MOOCs are. This is my main point, I guess, which is that we, as libraries, have so much more to offer to the MOOC discussion than locating public domain materials or providing copyright assistance. That is certainly a valuable role that we can play, but it's not the only role that we can play. I believe that higher education is facing disruptive change like it has never seen in its 900+ year existence. And I think that we as libraries have faced disruptive change very successfully in the past several decades. I've been a librarian since 1976, and we've had change every year. And I don't know any industry that has changed as much as libraries have. Now change is coming to higher education, and I think we have a role to play on our campus, and we can lead that change, lead the addressing change from the library, and that's what we have tried to do with this MOOC. This timeline is a very quick way for me just to walk through what exactly happened, and sorry if I have to turn and look at it. We teach a one and a half credit class, information literacy class at our library. And in the fall of 2011, we decided to teach 2 sections online. Wake Forest doesn't have any online courses in its undergraduate program. We had one developing course in graduate course in counseling, but nothing at the undergraduate level. So we just decided to experiment and try it. And we did, and it was very successful. The instructor said she had very close personal relationships with her students. They told her things online that they wouldn't tell her by sitting in a classroom, and she considered it to be a success. But the faculty on campus flipped out. They were very angry. They said, "Who told you you could do that?" And of course, we didn't ask for permission. So it started 2 years worth of governance discussions on the campus, and now finally they have voted and we're going to allow online classes, but it all started with our 2 sections. In February of 2012, I made a presentation to the Board of Visitors, the college, undergraduate college Board of Visitors, about that course. And they were interested in the online aspect, but they were also very interested in the information literacy aspect. And they said, "You're kidding, you have a class in how to manage information? Gee, I wish I had had that class when I was in school. And in fact, if you give that class again, I'd love to take that class, online or whatever." So that kind of got me thinking. Then all hell broke loose in the spring of 2012 with MOOC mania. Coursera, Udacity, edX, everything she said. Teresa Sullivan got fired and rehired at UVA because they didn't think she knew enough about online education. So all that was going on in the background. In the summer of 2012, we hired a new e-learning librarian, fresh out of library school, to help teach that online graduate course in counseling. So in the fall of 2012, I will never forget, I was driving down to Beaufort, North Carolina with my husband, kind of grumbling that Wake Forest was not going to be part of a MOOC. I love MOOCs. I had taken 2 MOOCs by that time already. One on Beethoven sonatas and one on the ancient Greeks, just because I loved it. I'm a learner. I just thought it was terrific. So I finally said to him, well, if the university's not going to do it, we could just do it ourselves. We could just put our Lib 100 class online and send it out to Wake Forest alums. So I took that challenge to our e-learning librarian, and he said, I can do that. And in the winter of 2013, he put it together, and it went live on March 18th. It lasted 4 weeks, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. And then we've had a second course since. It just finished on Monday. It was called Deacon Development 101. So let me tell you a little bit more about each one. The name of our library is Z. Smith Reynolds Library, but we call it ZSR. ZSR is like a person on campus. She's very friendly, very smart, funny. People love her. She helps you. So when we went to name the course, we named it ZSRX because you have to add X to everything, right? edX, TEDx, everything X. And then because it ended in RX, RX, we called it the Cure for the Common Web. And it was a short version of the information literacy course that we give to undergraduates. It was 4 weeks. These are the 4 modules that you'll see. It was basically how to search the web. So basic searching, advanced searching, privacy and filters, which is by far the most popular module, and then information management tools. We used Google Sites as a platform. We used Google Groups and Google Plus as discussion communities. We had hoped for 100 participants. I said to Kyle, if we could get 100 people to sign up, because we only marketed it to Wake Forest alumni, and there's only 40,000 alumni, so we marketed, but we got 700 registrants. We were so happy. On 6 continents. They came from all over the place. We had many, many happy alumni and friends. I was reporting on the success of ZSRX to the advancement group, and the head of parent programs heard it and said, we're looking for ways to engage our parents, especially incoming parents, as their child starts Wake Forest. And maybe you could give that course again to new incoming parents. Could you do that? And I said, absolutely, because at Wake Forest, incoming parents are like the highest profile donor prospects. So of course I wanted to get out in front of the parents. So instead of adapting the original course, we decided to build a custom course for Wake Forest parents on what it means to be the parent of a college student today, how not to be a helicopter parent, how to let your child grow and develop and make their own decisions. And we reached out to offices all over the campus, in campus life, student life, everywhere. They helped us build the course, and we came up with Deacon Development 101. This time we used the Canvas platform. It's the free version of Canvas. We had 200 parents who signed up, and they were only on 3 continents. And we had 5 weeks and 5 modules. There was a required orientation for the first time, which was to get acquainted with the Canvas platform. There was a module on Gen Y. There was a session on academic development, and I had a module in that. The search for identity was the 4th, and then there was one on well-being, which is an initiative on our campus. We wrapped the whole thing up into what we call a parent's toolkit, and it is packaged now and lives on Google Sites. And you can go to our website in the library, and you can look at both of these courses. All the videos, all the reading materials, everything is still available online. Just the discussions are closed. I won't read the testimonials, but I'm here to tell you that people loved it. Just like any other MOOC, not everybody who started finished it. About half of the people who took the first ZSRX course interacted in some way with it. About 20%, as near as we can figure, made it to the end. But those who did absolutely loved it, and they kept gushing and saying, when are you going to do more? We want more topics. The second course is having likewise a very positive impact. It only closed on Monday, but as we were driving down here on Tuesday, I started seeing testimonials come in. One mother told us that it had changed her behavior toward her daughter because her daughter just told her she was changing her major to philosophy. And she said, my initial reaction would have been, what? How are you going to get a job with philosophy? But now it's, well, tell me about that. What is it that's interesting to you? So we made a difference in one family's life anyway. So we do have future plans. In winter, we're offering digital publishing MOOC, which I am hereby inviting all of you to take. Social media will be in the spring. And then our future plans are to try and partner with a public library to offer a genealogy course, and then perhaps with the business and health information sectors, we would like to partner with the medical library and with our business library. And also, we've thought that we could perhaps offer our platform to our own faculty. Since Wake Forest is not going to do any MOOCs on Coursera or edX anytime soon, perhaps they would want to do a chemistry course or anthropology course or whatever they think they can get an audience for. We could make our platform available and we could be the producers of that. But I think what we've demonstrated is that it is possible to create an open online learning community. And we did it in the Wake Forest way. The Wake Forest way is to be up close and personal, and we, through the discussions and so forth that took place, by having a limited number of people, we felt we could do that, and we learned a lot. Thank you.